In today's session, we are seeing sharp moves happening in the equity market. And as the US session has begun, we saw the move on the lower side in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. But as the Mr. Jerome Powell's testimony started, we are seeing reversal from the lower side. But I think this breakout is going to be there in today's session itself. We have seen the Dow Jones Industrial Average trading in a narrow range of around 400 points for last couple of sessions. But in today's session itself, I am expecting a breakout on the lower side most probably, but you never know in the market. So it is not like 100%, but the probability do seem high. And if we look at the data rocket for the day, earlier in the day we saw that the euro area inflation has touched 11-month high of 0.9%. And if we look at the core inflation, core CPI, it is even higher at 1.4%. So the worries, the concerns surrounding the rising inflation is now gaining ground, and we are going to see more of it in next couple of months. Now moving back to the testimony of Mr. Jerome Powell, and in it, as expected, he has underlined that the Fed stands committed to the accommodative monetary policy, and it won't be raising rates anytime soon as long as the near zero employment, that is full employment, is reached, and the inflation also rises higher than the 2%, and it is able to sustain about 2%. So merely rising to 2% is not going to be a reason for the Reserve to start raising the interest rates. And also, as of now, Mr. Powell sees a significant slack in the economic outlook, and the labor market is also far away from its full potential. So, because of that, the Federal Reserve is not going to be raising interest rates for at least the next couple of years, maybe not before 2023. Now, moving back to the technical outlook, here we will consider the Dow Jones Industrial Average first, and then we will also see what's happening in the Euro USD. Let's start with the Dow Jones Industrial Average technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and here this consolidation in which the range has been narrow is evident. And for the next couple of sessions, I think the outlook might turn slightly on the bearish side, and this might be happening as said, the yields are on the higher side, and if we do get the breakout on the lower side, then there is not much of a support inside. So as a result of that, the take from me is for the bearish breakout, but we will have to keep in mind certain levels which we need to watch out for in today's session to see if we will stand to gain from these possible breakout. And in the near term, on the higher side, we do have the resistance in the form of this R2 or Bismuth pivot point series, and also these almost identical swing highs have been formed closer to the 31,700 mark. And in last couple of sessions, as we can see, we haven't really seen significant move on the either side. And if we do get the breakout on the lower side, and we have already seen a new low being formed below 31,200 in today's session. But after Mr. Powell's testimony started, we also saw a reversal from the lower side. So we will have to be cautious here. But I think if we don't really see further move beyond 31,500 in today's session, then the outlook will turn more of an bearishness, and in that context, we can utilize this confluence zone of 50, 100, and 200 SMA, which is there around 31,500. And as long as price action is below it, I think we can be hopeful of continuation of the bearish stance in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So in Today's session, watch out for the price action for maybe RR2, and if the price doesn't really see reversal beyond these immediate high of around 31,550, we can even look for fresh entries anywhere in the price band of 31,400 to 31,500, while keeping the stop loss closer to these today's high, which is there around 31,700. So for a risk of around 200 to 300 points, we can expect the fresh breakout on the lower side, and in due course of time, even the 31,000 levels can be reached. So here, the potential is there, and we can stand to gain more than 1 percentage point. The risk reward ratio is not exactly 1 is to 2, but still good enough to take the bait. Now, moving on to the currency space, we will see the technical outlook for Euro USD. This is the daily time frame chart, and here the Euro USD has entered into a consolidation phase after rising substantially in last three sessions. So it is now hovering closer to 1.215 in today's session. So more of an sideways momentum there, and it had touched this central pivot point of this pivot point series around 1.218 in today's session, and after that it had corrected some 20-30 points on the lower side, but I am not expecting any significant reversal happening on these levels, but instead we can hope for the continuation of the bullishness in near term, and for that we can even try to profit from it as long as Euro USD is holding well above 1.21. So if we want to figure out some opportunities to look for the entry on the buy side, I think we have to watch out for the price action on the lower side, and these 200 and 100 SMA confluence, which is there around 1.211, is going to be helpful. And if in today's session we see that Euro USD is able to hold closer to these 50 SMA and start reversing on the higher side, maybe in tomorrow's session, not today's session, we can expect the breakout on the higher side, and then we can go for the long trade with the target keeping beyond 1.22. So here I am expecting the Euro USD to consolidate and then start rising, and then using lower time frame charts like say 15 minutes, you can look for the breakout after this consolidation closer to this 50 SMA, and as and when it starts to rise, you can look for the buying opportunity while utilizing the immediate swing low of the consolidation phase as our stop loss. So I am advising to buy on the rise, not on the dip. So if it declines further, then we will have to wait for more time. But if it sustains on these levels and then after due consolidation starts to rise again, then we will have a better chance to profit from the continuation of this bullishness in the Euro USD. So that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any idea or any query to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading the financial instrument, and one also should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you tomorrow. Thank you all for joining in, and do subscribe to the Decoscopy webinar channel for staying updated on the market developments. Goodbye.